Hi guys, welcome to this video. This is a preview for Man United's game against Man City. We play them this weekend at 12:30, Manchester Derby. Huge game in the calendar for us, particularly now I think given where we are in our season. I think just before, I should say just after the Liverpool game, there was a lot of talk about Oli getting sacked. A lot of replacements were being put out there, Conte's, Ten Hag, Potter, Rodgers. There was a lot of talk about replacements. But it looked like, well, it sounds like anyway, that these fixtures were pretty important as to whether or not Solskjaer keeps his job. So the Spurs fixture, the Atalanta one, and the Man City one coming up. Now the Spurs one was a good result, decent performance, although you look at it and think Spurs were kind of on the decline. Maybe were there for their taking a little bit. Nuno was sacked shortly after. Atalanta game, it wasn't the greatest of performances, but we did get the result we needed. 1 point away from home, generally you'd take that in Europe anyway. So all in all, it hasn't been a bad week for us, but you still go into this fixture against Man City knowing that you're playing against top opposition. You need to perform a lot better. Similarly to how we were feeling before the Liverpool game. We were going into that having played a little bit iffy, got results perhaps where we didn't deserve it. This time we know what we're coming up against, and we can't have a repeat in terms of sort of the embarrassment. I think whether or not you want Oli in or Oli out, wanting to see us, nobody wants to see us get embarrassed by Man City, and we've already been embarrassed by Liverpool as it stands already. It's a very odd season, I would say. The fact that we're actually only 3 points away from Man City, given the sort of turmoil and crisis that we're in a little bit. We're only 3 points behind them, which I guess maybe says a lot. Teams are dropping more points this season, maybe a bit more competitive with the mid-table sides. You think about the Palaces, who are playing very well under Vieira. Brentford as well has been decent and taken points against some of the top teams as well. So yeah, points are being taken, but I think irrespective of that, looking at ourselves, we definitely should have picked up more points than we have so far, to go into this game with a bit more of a cushion. Bit of early team news. It looks like Varane's out. He came off the pitch against Atalanta with what looked like to be a hamstring injury. Those ones, you're really unlikely to be available for the weekend, and it does seem that way, with rumours being circulated that he's out for at least a month, which is really big blow for us. I think he's been really good, really solid start. You got to bear in mind he's coming to a really dysfunctional side. He's not coming to a side that's firing on all cylinders, that's got a really clear sort of methodology behind it. There's a lot of pieces, or there's a lot of disarray, I'd say, in our side, and he's looked quite relatively comfortable with that being in mind. Lindelof had a knock before the game, and so wasn't available, but you'd imagine he's back if it's just a knock for the weekend, which would be a big boost for us. I think he's done quite well this season. Again, you look at our defenders, and I guess the one I've been disappointed with is Maguire. I think he's been really poor, making too many mistakes. But even then, he was probably rushed back for as we're hearing in the Telegraph, he was rushed back from his initial injury. But even before then, I don't think he's been fantastic. I do feel sorry for our defenders generally playing in this side. They're exposed way too much, having to cover so much ground. And I think Lindelof has done quite well so far this season. He had that nice assist against to Rashford in the Leicester game. So yeah, he's been okay. And it will be good to see, hopefully he's back for this game on the weekend. Pogba's out suspended, having got red carded against Liverpool, and Martial, I think, is probably the only other injury. I think he had food poisoning by the sounds of things, so he may be back in at least for contention, but he's unlikely to start, obviously. So I guess these injuries may actually, the two centre backs being out potentially may force Ollie's hand, and he may actually have to go with the four at the back. For me, I imagine he would rather play three at the back. It appears that he's using this to sort of get him through this tough week, try and make us hard to break down, try and make sure that we're solid defensively, and then whatever we can muster up in attack, we'll probably take. That almost feels like the strategy. Haven't been particularly ambitious in the way we've played so far, but in my eyes, I'm not even sure if the three at the back is actually a system that favours us, even as things stand right now. I think we looked a bit more positive when we played four at the back against Atalanta when it was forced, when Varane came off. So, we'll see. As for the formation and personnel, I'd imagine he plays De Gea at the back. You know, he seems to love him a lot. Even though for me, he's making one or too many errors. I say one or two many errors. I think one or two too many errors. I think he's made the error early in the week, and also I don't think he does enough just generally. But that's a conversation for another day. Who else? I think he'll play Maguire, Bailly, and Lindelof as the centre backs. Right wing back Wan-Bissaka, left wing back Shaw, middle of the park Fred and McTominay, in front of them Fernandes, and then in front of them Ronaldo and Cavani. I say actually no, I think it'll be Ronaldo and Rashford this time. He'll probably want that pace. Rashford's usually good against these top teams, so it wouldn't surprise me to see him play. So that will be the formation I think he goes with. But I think regardless of who we play, what system we play, we do need to approach this game with the fundamentals in place. The sort of fundamentals I'm referring to is sort of our attackers. We need them to be clever with when they choose to press. You know, don't just press recklessly on their own. And if they do, we need to do it with real intent. You know, also I want to see us tracking back. You know, tracking our runners. City's fullbacks, particularly Cancelo, are very dangerous in attack. So we need to be on to them and not let them have endless time to create opportunities for their forward players. We need to also try and control the game a little bit. What I mean by that is not necessarily having the ball the whole time, but for us to not let it become a basketball match, which is what we've done in the past a little bit. You know, the problem with those sort of games is that they can really swing either way. They can swing in your favour, but they can also swing the other way if we don't execute that well, or if the other side execute really well. And that's, I would say, mostly what happened against Liverpool. We just went at them recklessly, made it into a basketball game, and then they just picked us off with ease. So I don't want to see a game like that. I think those are the fundamentals that we need to really approach the game with, and you know, then the system is kind of almost secondary, I'd say. For me, I'd want to see us play a 4 at the back. I'd want to say Henderson in goal with Wan-Bissaka right back, Maguire and Lindelof, and then Shaw left back, Fred and McTominay in the middle, then Sancho on the right with Rashford on the left, and Fernandes is the 10 with Ronaldo up top. For me, going into a game like this, you want to really utilise your strengths. We've performed quite well against City in the past, and I like the 4 at the back for us. You know, the thing about City is that you know how they're going to play. Very hard to stop, but you know how they're going to play. They're going to press high, they're going to want to be high up at the pitch and have a lot of possession. And that's fine, let them have the possession, you know, not let them have it endlessly, but you know, don't worry about the fact they're going to have more possession. But when we have the ball, counter-attack them. There is a real opportunity, if we can beat that initial press, to do some real damage, as we have done in the past. The likes of Ronaldo, Rashford and Fernandes on the break could be, even Sancho as well, could be really dangerous. Playing at 3 at the back, for me, just takes away from that. We have one less player involved in those counters. You know, I really feel like we should play 4 at the back. You know, hopefully, I wouldn't say I'm optimistic, but hopefully we turn up and hopefully we actually do, you know, make it competitive at least. I think that's the one thing. You know, if we lose against a team like Liverpool or City, yes, it's not ideal, but they're great teams. Sorry to say, but they are great teams. If you lose against them, it can happen, but it's the way you lose. And I think the way we lost against Liverpool last time was inexcusable. We need to go into this game and show a performance that actually can, you know, build some belief in the side that, yeah, actually we're going in the right direction. That's what I want to see. Obviously, I would like to see a result as well. For me, I can't even, you know, I don't even have a prediction in my mind in terms of results. I can see us nicking a win, smash and grab. I can see City blowing us away. I can see us maybe getting a draw as well, playing really defensively, and then it being a low-scoring encounter. You know, it could be any sort of game. It's part of the reason why I'm looking forward to it. It's part of the reason why I'm a bit nervous. But one thing's for sure, we need a result. You know, a result on this weekend. I'm not part of sort of the brigade that kind of want Ollie to lose so that, want Man United to lose so that Ollie goes. I don't want to see us get embarrassed. I never want to see us lose against City or any of our rivals, or just full stop. You know, I want us to get results and then at least do what needs to be done for the club long term, you know, irrespective of whether or not we get smashed or whether we're playing poorly. So yeah, that's my preview for the game. Sorry, it's a bit rambly, but just saying how I feel on this one. I'll be doing a review after the game as well, hopefully with a smile on my face. Hopefully it's been at least a good performance. and even more, hopefully we get 3 points. But yeah, until then, yeah, please like, please comment. But yeah, see you in the next video.